Good morning, students. Hope you understood the previous topic. Okay, so let's continue the next topic, that is how strong are acid or base solutions. So students, you have studied about the acid base indicators, and in acid base indicators you studied that how can we find the difference between acids and bases with the help of the acid base indicators. Then you also studied about the dilution of an acid. Then when we add acid in water slowly, then how the acid is diluted. And you also studied that there is a decrease in hydrogen or hydroxyl ion concentration if we add acid or the base. So now students, the question arises that how strong are these acids or bases. Suppose we are given 3-4 acids and 3-4 bases, and we have to find that which one is the strong acid, which one is the strong base. Then how we can do so, that only we are going to study today. So to understand this, there is a special type of indicator which is known as universal indicator. Till now you have not studied about the universal indicator. So you know, this universal indicator is prepared by mixing several indicators together. So with the help of this universal indicator, we can find that how strong an acid or how strong a base is. And the special thing about this indicator is that it shows different colors for different acids and different colors for different bases. So let's study about it, and to understand that we need a scale which is known as a pH scale. Here you can see that this is small p, this p is small and h is capital. So this is known as the power of hydrogen ion concentration, and this p stands for potent. In German if we say, it is known as potent, and potent means power. So this is a pH scale, and you can see here that this pH scale comprises from 0 to 14, and in between here you can see it is written 7, and this 7 is the midpoint, and that is the neutral. Here if the color of any solution is there, that is neutral, and these values are known as pH value, which are on the pH scale. So here you will observe that if we move from 7 towards 0, then the solution will be acidic, and if we move from 7 to 14, then the solution will be basic. Okay, so in case of acid, if there is a less value, then the acid will be strong, and in case of bases, if the value is more, then it will be the strong base. It means suppose we are given 2 acids, and one as the pH value for one acid is 1 and the other acid is 6, then which will be the strong acid? Which is having pH value 1, that is less than 6, and the pH value is more, that is 6, that will be the weak acid. Okay, so this you can understand. Here I have shown. So here you can see that if we start from 7 to 0, this is acidic nature is increasing, and from 7 to 14, basic nature is increasing. And same way we can say that if the acidic nature is increasing, it means increase in hydrogen ion concentration, and if the basic nature is increasing, it means decrease in hydrogen ion concentration and increase in hydroxyl ion concentration. So with this you can understand the value, and how can we find that any acid is strong or any acid is weak, or same way for the base. So students, you can just open your NCERT book, and in your NCERT book you can see they have shown a figure. In that figure you can see there is a figure in which the pH of some common substances are shown, and you can see there is a different color. So normally what happens that for acids, there is a red color with different shades. Like there, it can be red, it can be pink, it can be reddish orange, it can be orange. And in case of bases, the color will be light blue, dark blue, and different shades of blue. And in between there is a green color, and that green color is for the neutral substances. Now students, you can just go through your NCERT book, and in that book you can see this. Now the question arises, how can we find the pH value with the help of the universal indicator? So for this, what we will do, we will take a test tube, and in that test tube we will take a any acid or a base. And after that, what we will do, you can use directly universal indicator you can use, or you can use a paper which is impregnated with the universal indicator, and that paper is known as pH paper. It means you can find the pH value with the help of universal indicator or with the help of the pH paper, and you will see the same color. For universal indicator also same color, and for pH paper also same color. So this with this you can find, like suppose you want to find the pH value of hydrochloric acid. So what happens when we dip a pH paper in the hydrochloric acid, then you will see a dark pink color is obtained. And for acetic acid, as it is a weak acid, the color is orange. Okay. Then if we take the distilled water, then the color is green in color, or pure water. Then if you will take a sodium hydroxide, that is a strong base, then the color will be dark blue. So this way pH paper will show different colors from in the reddish shades and in the bluish shade, and in between there will be green color. Okay. So this way you can find the, and depending upon the color you can find the pH value. Okay. Now the question arises that what is the importance of pH in our everyday life? Why we are studying about pH value? So you know there are some very important effects of pH value in our life. So the first effect, that is, we can say that, so let's rub this because this is over, and then you can see that. So now we will discuss about the importance of pH in everyday life. This is given in your NCERT book, in everyday life. So the first point which we will discuss is, are plants and animals pH sensitive? So let's discuss about this point. Okay. So children, you know that the pH for our body, do you know? So I am telling you that the pH for our body is between 7 to 7.8. Okay. And only on between this pH only our body works. So sometimes you have heard about the acid rain. So what happens that when the rain water falls down, and if the pH of rainwater becomes less than 5.6, then it is known as the acid rain, and you know about the acid rain. So what happens when this water falls down in the river, then the river water also becomes acidic, and in that case the aquatic life, whichever animals are present in the water, these animals are getting affected. So due to this reason, the aquatic animals have hard time to survive. So it becomes difficult for them to survive if the pH value decreases from 5.6. Okay. Now you know there is one very interesting fact that the atmosphere of Venus, you know now one planet is there, Venus, and you know that the atmosphere of Venus is made up of thick layer of white and yellowish clouds of concentrated sulfuric acid. So can you tell me whether life will exist there or not? So you can just understand, if the concentrated hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid is there, then it is very difficult for life to survive there. Now the second point is that what is the pH? Suppose the next is, what is the pH? What is the pH of the soil in your backyard or any from nearby your house? So you can see that this is a very simple thing, that you know that plants require a specific range for their healthy growth. This you know. So suppose we want to find the pH value of the soil near our house. So suppose in front of your house, at the backyard of your house, or near your house, from anywhere. So suppose you collect the soil and you want to know that whether this soil is acidic or this is a basic, and what is the value of pH value of this soil. So to understand this, there is a very simple activity, and with that activity you can find the pH value of the soil. So you know these farmers are using this technique to find the pH, because they need for different crops different type of soil is required. So depending upon that, they can make the soil acidic or they can make the soil basic according to their requirement. So to understand that how acidic or how basic the soil is, we can just collect the soil. Collect 2 grams of soil or 5 grams of soil, and then just dissolve it in water. After dissolving it, filter it. And after filtering it, you will get a clear filtrate. And then with the help of the pH paper or with the help of the universal indicator, you can just check the color of the filtrate, which after putting the universal indicator or pH paper, you can check the color. If any reddish shade is coming, it means the soil is acidic. If any bluish shade is coming, it means the soil is basic. And how dark is the shade? Depending upon that, you can find out that this soil is strongly acidic or strongly basic. So this way the farmers use this technique to find the pH of the soil, and this way it is very useful for us. Now the next point, that is pH in our digestive system. What is the use of pH in our digestive system? So dear students, you know that in our stomach, when you studied about the digestive system, that time you studied that in our stomach there are gastric glands, and those glands releases hydrochloric acid, and then that hydrochloric acid does not affect our body. But what happens that if we sometimes sometimes when we take the food and due to acidity means there is a more release of hydrochloric acid. So in that condition, the condition of acidity is there, and we feel pain in our stomach, we feel irritation in our stomach. So in that condition, what happens that we use the basic solution, that is we can use the antacid tablets, or you can use any other base, like you can use the any mild base. Don't take strong base, you have to take any weak base, that is you can take magnesium hydroxide, that is and it is also known as milk of magnesia. Okay, this question can be asked, what is milk of magnesia? So you can say that milk of magnesia is magnesium hydroxide. Okay, and when we take this antacid or milk of magnesia, then the neutralization reaction takes place, means there is an acid and here is a base. Both of them combine with each other and a neutral solution will be formed and we feel relaxed. Okay, so this is the use of pH in our stomach. Now next is pH change as the cause of tooth decay. This topic is pH change as the cause of tooth decay. So students, you know that in our mouth the pH value is around 5.5. Okay, so what happens between 5.5 to 7? So what happens that if this value decreases, now the question arises how it will decrease. Okay, so what happens that when we eat food, so you know, after eating the food, some of the particles of the food remains in our mouth. So in that condition, if these particles will be there, then with these particles some bacteria will develop there, and those bacteria produce acids, and these acids will start corroding our teeth. And you know, our teeth is made up of a very hard substance. That enamel part of the teeth is made up with a hard substance, that is calcium hydroxyapatite. And this calcium hydroxyapatite is the crystalline form of calcium phosphate. So this way we can say that enamel is the hardest substance of our body. So even it is hardest, then also it can be corroded slowly with the help of these acids which is produced by the bacteria. So to avoid it, what we have to do, we can do two things. First thing is that we can wash our mouth after eating the food, clean our mouth, and we can use a toothpaste, and it contains base. So what happens when that base is applied in the form of toothpaste, then it neutralizes and the effect of the acid is cancelled and the neutralization reaction takes place. So this way we can just save our teeth. Okay, now next questions comes, the next topic is that self-defense by animals and plants. Self-defense by animals and plants. Okay, animals and plants through chemical warfare. Through chemical warfare. Warfare means fight. Okay, so what happens that you might have heard also, or you might have observed that when honey bee bites, so wherever it bites, it produces some sting, and where that sting is there, it produces some acid, and because of that acid some irritation is there, some pain is there. And you know, to get relief from this, there is a very simple method that we can apply any mild base. So if we don't have any base in our house, we all have toothpaste, and we can apply toothpaste immediately, and we can see that the irritation is over. That is because here the acid is neutralized by the base, and that's why we get relief from the burning sensation or this irritation. Now you know that there is one very interesting thing. Have you heard about the nettle sting? Yes, nettle sting is a nettle is a plant. Okay, and in that plant, this is an herbaceous plant, and in this herbaceous plant, what happens, over the leaves are small stinging hairs are there, and if by mistake if we touch it while passing from there, So if we touch it, it is very very painful, and this pain is also here again due to the presence of an acid. And you know which is that acid? This acid is the methanoic acid. And even in honeybee also, when it puts its sting, that is also the methanoic acid. It means in nettle sting and in honeybee, both of them produces methanoic acid. And this methanoic acid causes a lot of irritation. So to avoid this, normally what happens that wherever this nettle plant is there, nearby that there is one more other plant which is known as the dock plant, D-O-C-K. You can write D-O-C-K, dock plant is there. And this plant is nearby there, and we can just immediately pluck some leaves of the dock plant and we can rub over the area where we have touched the nettle sting. So as soon as you will just rub it, you will get relief from this burning sensation of the nettle sting. So this way nettle plant and this dock plant, they mostly when they are grown, they are nearby some in that area only. Okay. So this is about the pH in our everyday life. So I think you understood the topic. And once again let me summarize. So we studied about the importance of pH in our body, importance of pH in the soil, importance of pH in our tooth decay, then in our stomach, and then in the animals and the plants warfare. So this way this is over. And now there is one table given in your NCERT book. You can just study about them. That is, there are some naturally occurring acids. Okay. So the question can be asked in your exam that the acid name of the plant will be given, and they will be asking that which acid is found in this. Like we can give some examples. So let's see. So these examples we can write like, first one side we will write the natural source. This is the natural source and the acid present in it. So suppose someone asks you that which acid is present in vinegar. So what you will say? That is acetic acid. Acetic acid, and its other name is ethanoic acid. Don't get confused if somewhere it is written ethanoic acid. Okay. Then comes next, you can see orange. In orange or in lemon, both of them they contain citric acid. It can come in your exam, citric acid. Then comes the tamarind. In tamarind there the acid which is present is known as the tartric acid. Tartric acid. Then there is another source, that is tomato. So you know in tomato the acid which is present, that is known as the oxalic acid. Then the sour milk or curd. Okay. So in this, you know, this you all know that this is the which acid? Lactic acid. Yes, correct. Lactic acid. Then comes the ant sting. As I told you that in ant sting as well as in nettle sting, both of them have methanoic acid, and the other name for methanoic acid is formic acid. So don't forget, this is formic acid. Okay. So these are some of the naturally occurring acid, and this table is given in your NCERT book, and it is very important. So you just learn it. So this way your pH value is completed. Now in the next turn we will study about the family of salts and the pH of the salts, and then there are some questions related to this topic. So you can see in your NCERT book on page number 28, there is a question which is, suppose you are given two solutions, A and B. The pH for A is 6 and pH for B is 8. Now the question is that which solution has more hydrogen ion concentration? So it's very simple, as it is acid. As acids contain more hydrogen ion concentration, so it means the solution which is having value pH value 6 will have more hydrogen ion concentration. Now the next part of the question is that which of this is acidic and which one is the basic. So it's very simple that the solution which have more hydrogen ion concentration will be the acidic and which have less hydrogen ion concentration will be the basic. So here the pH value less than 7, that is 6, will be the acidic, and the pH value more than 7, that is 8, will be the basic solution. Now question number 2. What effect does the concentration of hydrogen ions have on the nature of the solutions? So it's very simple. If the more number of hydrogen ion concentration, the solution will be strong acid, and if the less number of hydrogen ion concentration, will be the weak acid. Okay, and then next question, do basic solutions also have hydrogen ions? Yes, if they have a hydrogen ion, then what is the nature, then why are these basic? So as you know that bases have hydroxyl ions. So what happens that when water is there, then water dissociates into hydrogen ions and hydroxyl ions. Same way, suppose the base sodium hydroxide is there, so Na ions, Na plus ions, and the OH minus ions, that is hydroxyl ions. So we are getting hydroxyl ions from base also as well as from water, both. So that's why the concentration of hydroxyl ions increases, and that's why the basis will be the strong, it will be the basic solution. Now the last question is that under what soil condition do you think a farmer would treat the soil of his field with quicklime? Quicklime is calcium carbonate, calcium oxide. Then slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide, or chalk, that is calcium carbonate. This is your question. So as you know that all these three are the bases, they all are the basic salts. So what happens if the soil is basic, then what farmer will use? Farmer will use the acidic one. So this way, in this case, it means the soil is acidic. So this is the answer, and these answers I will be sending you in, and you can write it in your notebook. Okay, and then in the next one we'll continue the about the salts, family of salts, and the pH of the salts.